give this talk, so I thought I would, I was originally going to give you a preview, but I got my wires crossed about giving this presentation at the Knights of Columbus, so I'm going to give you all a shorter version of it. I'm going to give you some handouts on it as well.
At the Knights meeting in February, Don may give a version of this, which will be a Lenten version.
Yeah, this is going to be my beginning of the year version. Okay, because this is the time of year when people make New Year's resolutions, right? This is the year that I'm going to lose 20 pounds. This is the year I'm going to take daily walks. Or this is the year that I'm going to really work on getting that new job promotion. Or this is the year that we're going to reduce our debt. Whatever the case may be. But how many people seriously sit down and make a resolution about their spiritual lives? Now, I had the benefit this year that a couple of days before Christmas, I went on a 4-day retreat. I went to Schulenburg, Texas. Okay? And I run into John Tremblay's son at this retreat. How crazy is that? Okay? Because he lives in, does he live in College Station? Okay, so what a small world it is. And one of the things that they encouraged us at the retreat was to make some sound resolutions about change in our life. Particularly in this year of faith. Okay, the note I wrote to myself here is, this is the year of faith. What are you doing differently? There are two primary things that Pope Benedict asked us to do. One, he said, read the catechism. Okay? And I can't promise I'm going to do this every single week, but I got another copy for somebody who wants it. Okay? So let me know. And you can get it at cost. But read the catechism was one thing. The second thing he said is read the documents of Vatican II. Okay, and Lyndon and I are in the works of trying to put together a program and maybe revitalize Meal and a Message this year to introduce the documents of Vatican II to the parish. How many of us have actually read them? If I hadn't started this theology program that I'm in, I've seen them. Okay, and I had, you read the catechism, it's all over the place. Like I was writing a paper yesterday about the dignity of man, and you look up, and I think it's section 3 of the catechism, and virtually every point's note is from Gaudium et Spes. Remember I talked about that document maybe a month or two ago? It's like every line, that whole document is about the dignity of man, revealed in the fact that we are made in the image and likeness of God. So that's why those documents are important, because they really help us understand what the church really means, what that council was all about. All right, so that being said, the setup is this. All right, it's the beginning of the year, we make resolutions. What are we going to do differently? So I propose a couple of things for you. All right, now I didn't invent this. Most of you all know that I'm a cooperator at Opus Dei, and that's where I got the idea from. And I'm going to give you, when I'm done, a little handout, all right, to help you with this, to give you a spiritual game plan. People that want to lose weight, they get game plans, all right? Like, I'm a Weight Watcher, so I count points, okay? Essentially counting calories, okay? And you count your activity points as well when you do exercise. So some sort of game plan there. If you're going to reduce debt, you have a game plan. You either pay off the card with the highest interest rate or the highest balance and roll it in together, or whatever the case may be. All right? We've got to have a game plan spiritually, too. Okay? So that's what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to propose that we should, and it was beautiful the way that Lyndon alluded to this. He talked about the hidden years of Christ. Okay? Those are very meaningful, and we should reflect on that. Okay? That everything Christ did, everything, was with a purpose. So those hidden years, when he was working with Joseph and being an everyday, ordinary guy, that was for a reason. Because the incarnation of Christ wasn't just about God humbling himself to come down to us, but it was also to return us to the state that man was in when he was created. Because we had a fallen nature. We had been separated from God. We had lost our dignity. And he restored that by essentially, and this is what the church teaches, divinizing humanity. That everything that we do has dignity and has an opportunity, everything that's good, okay, has dignity as an opportunity for sanctification. So from the moment we get up to the moment we go to sleep are opportunities, I contend, for us to pray. So I'm going to help you with that. In the morning, we get up, we give a morning offering. It doesn't have to be a structured prayer. Okay, I know some people may pray the morning offering of Fatima. And there are a ton of other traditional offering prayers, and it can be just as simple as you getting up first thing in the morning, not hitting the snooze button, what Jose Maria used to call the heroic moment. Getting up in the morning and dedicating that day to God. You know, to say, Lord, I offer you all my work, my prayers, my joys, my sufferings, for all of your intentions, for the intentions of your church, for the intentions of Pope Benedict XVI and all your bishops. You can even pray for your friends and family. And for those intentions of my friends and family, especially the members of Joe Catholic, etc. And then start less than a minute. But you've got to dedicate yourself to doing that. If you want to be hardcore about it, get out of bed and kneel next to it and say the morning prayer. Have your wife catch you doing that. See if that doesn't have an impact on her. All right, next. Have a set time each day set aside for prayer. Give God your first fruits. And what I mean by that is don't leave it to the end of the day and say, I'll find some time to pray. Make an appointment with God. Now, all of y'all know I'm not a morning person. Okay? I've had to become one with this new work schedule I got at work. I get up at 5 on most days. So I start my prayers in the morning. That gets me set right. Because I know if I wait till the afternoon, what happens when we're coming home from work or all the things that we do during our daily lives? We're tired. We're worn out. We're not going to do it. So that's why I think that the morning is really the best time to do it, to get us off to a good start. So a couple of good points about prayer. It doesn't have to be a lot of time. 15 minutes. Okay? I've read all sorts of books. Everything from spiritual direction, from people like Father McCluskey, who's an Opus Dei priest, to Jesuit priests, Franciscan priests, Redemptorists. Doesn't matter what they are. They all recommend for us lay people 15 minutes. That's a good start. And if you can work yourself up to half an hour in the morning and half an hour in the evening, great. But 15 minutes is a really good start. And you break it down, and this is what you do. First thing you do is you make sure you do have an appointment with God. You have a set time every day that you know is your prayer time, period. Number 2, find a good, quiet place to pray. If you sit down to pray and you've got the Fox 4 News behind you blaring, or ESPN running and scrolling the scores from last night, that's not going to be a good environment for you to pray in. All right? And if you got small kids and, maybe they're up and running around, maybe that means you got to get up 15 minutes earlier or 30 minutes earlier so you have that quiet time. You don't have to have your own personal, chapel or anything like that. I know some people do.
Don't pick on my wife.
And a kneeler.
And a dealer.
But the point is pick a time, pick a place, and the basic facts of praying are simply this, okay? And I got this from Lyndon's wife, Sandy, is remember Acts, okay? That simple prayer, if you don't know how to pray, the first thing, San Jose Maria, I love this quotation from him. He said, you don't know how to pray, you say you don't know how to pray. Ask God to help me to pray, and you have already begun. How awesome is that? I can get on board with that. Okay? Just surrender it to Him. Have a conversation with Him. It's one of the things I love about the way my son Kevin over there prays. He knows how to have a conversation, even in his vocal prayer. Okay?